Hi, and welcome to Little River Woodworking. We started our channel in March, and we very aggressively went into planter season because we were a little late to the game because the winter ran really long here. And it was pretty unpleasant and we didn't have a heated shop. So we've been rushing to get through it, and we're finally on the other side of it. So now we're going to settle in, as I've alluded to in our last video. And so this video, I'm just going to give you a breakdown of what our plans are for the future and where we want to go with this channel, because it wasn't really well represented with just rushing through planter season. So basically, I decided I wanted to make this channel because I can't find the kind of channel that I want to watch on YouTube. So it feels like there was a void there that we could move into. I wanted, you know, somewhat snappy, efficiently made videos where somebody's not rambling on. Nothing against those people, because there's definitely people that want to see that, but I like it to be fast paced. And I like to do things that nobody else does. And I like to just kind of push the envelope and try to be as creative as possible. So I feel like, I want this to kind of be all of our channels. I'm willing to kind of pretty much try anything. I have no intention of ever getting into the realm of, having big fancy cabinet saws and Festool stuff. I just want to be like an everyday creative guy with my, my little job site table saw and, some nice garage tools. But I'm not looking to be an advanced woodworker. I'm more of a creator. That's where my interest is. Also, I'm not somebody that's looking to, you know, get a whole pile of sales and just build all night long and all day long and create, and make a bunch of stuff. I'm more into, prototyping, which is basically what all these videos have been. So about 80% of the videos that we've done so far have been me being filmed prototyping, which is a real pain, I'll tell you, because only a couple of them that I had already done the projects before, so I could smoothly run right through it. So we're going to give you everything that I can think of, because I found a lot of voids in stuff that I watch, because I spent over a year watching stuff, because I'm a researcher. I've done tons of research, and we have long, cold winters here where there's no work, so you basically sit around and research all winter long, which is what I did. And I tried a bunch of projects that I saw, and there was a bunch of problems with them that, of course, were never addressed in the videos, because as soon as they're done, it looks beautiful and they move on. They don't come back and they tell you, oh, by the way, it twisted and cracked after because I didn't build it properly. So I did a bunch of research into all the things that were going wrong, and I'm going to show you guys everything. If you looked in the welcome sign video, the last one that we did, I tried out the scorch pen and it failed miserably. Well, I'm showing you that so you don't have to try it. I had a bunch of bench tops that I made, that I laminated, did everything the way they were done in the videos. I did 6 of them. All 6 of them were unusable because they didn't tell me how to make sure the wood was dry, what parts of the wood to use, and how to seal the wood properly. All stuff that I am going to make sure that I tell you everything about, because I was pretty upset at the fact that I had watched all of this content and I wasn't getting this information. And that actually, I ended up losing sleep over it, because I was thinking, how am I supposed to do woodworking if I can't get a bench not to twist into an unusable piece of wood? All right, so one of the videos we're doing real soon is I have 3 custom orders for entryway benches, and I'm going to do 3 different tops in different ways, and I'm going to show you everything to do or not do based on my research and experience. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, but I can research everything and I can tell you what works and what doesn't work. So look forward to that one. So this channel is going to be devoted to 2 different things. One, working with DIY projects, which we're never going to stop doing. We're just going to mix some of these other videos in with them, and building a business as efficiently as you can, as far as, cost versus benefit of it. Because yeah, I spent a lot of money that I found out later that I really didn't need to. And like I said, I'm going to tell you guys and show you guys everything. And there is no one size fits all. The one thing that the guys never say in these videos is like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to build an armoire, or are you just trying to build a bench or a picnic table? Because the tools that you need are completely different for both those things. Some of them will tell you need to have 800 clamps. Well, I'm going to tell you everything that I've done does not need any more than about 6, unless I'm doing multiple projects at the same time. And we'll have a video on just clamps coming up too. I'm going to go after every subject I can think of. I'm going to research everything about them first, and then we're going to make a video on it and give you all the information I can come up with so you can make an educated decision. Something that I wish that I was able to see on YouTube when I was looking. Upcoming video, which is going to be probably next week, for those of you that are wanting to start up a side hustle or just a woodworking business in general. I'm going to give you all the information on how I've been able to generate sales. Also, the other thing too is making sure that you're building what you want to build, not what somebody wants you to build. Some stuff is more profitable than others, and some stuff that I've built, it's just at the end of it, I was like, I'm never building another one of these. It's just totally not worth it. So I kind of front run everything, and I kind of pick things and I build them, and I say, okay, this is what I want the customer to see, and this is what I want them to order. That way I'm building on my agenda, not theirs. Because otherwise it takes the fun out of it, and you don't want the fun to be taken out of your hobby, because I've seen it happen before and it's really unpleasant for people. We're going to be reviewing pretty much every tool that I can get my hands on. We're going to do some of these videos like, the top 10 tools that I wish that I had bought sooner. I think it's going to be one of them at the beginning. It's going to be, a little bit clickbaity, because we want to get more people coming in and seeing them, but you're going to know that it's just kind of the first of many videos, and we're not going to duplicate tools along the line like I've seen some other people do just to try to generate more sales on Amazon. We're going to do one video per thing, just a short segment, give you all the information, and we're going to move on to the next thing. If something in the future comes up where it kind of makes sense to go back to something, we'll do that, but we're not just going to throw the same thing out there over and over again, trying to get more sales. I'm not going to be sponsored by anybody, because I'm not going to have any masters. Somebody wants to send me something to try, I will try it and I will give an honest review, but I'm not taking money from anybody, at least until all of this is over and we've done the reviews on everything, because I do not want anybody telling me what they want me to say. I'm going to tell you what the honest truth is, because as far as I'm concerned, this is all about us, and I don't want any companies telling me what to say. We're going to be doing videos on building a business on a budget, and I'm going to go over everything mathematically. For example, like a planer. Once again, what are you trying to do? Some of you probably could benefit from a planer, but I guarantee most of you don't need helical heads, despite what all the people on YouTube are going to tell you. If you're using softwood, just a regular planer you got off Marketplace for $150 is probably good enough. And a lot of ideas about things that maybe you could have instead of a more expensive thing. I kind of work in the mindset, because I used to be an efficiency expert in a job that I was at, so I think that way about everything. I think about time versus, it's quality versus quantity and all that other stuff. And I will give you examples of tools that I have bought that will absolutely probably never pay for themselves. That's okay if you want to buy yourself a present. I mean, that's fine, but if you're doing it from a I want to make money point of view, that's where I'm going to step in and say, okay, this is not the best way to get started. Some of them are going to surprise you. Okay, so as far as projects are concerned, I aim for doing things that are simple but look a little more advanced. Perfect example is the 3-picket planter. We just quite simply put the profile on there and made it look like tongue and groove. Other people don't do that. It's not difficult. It just sets you apart and makes people think maybe that you're a little bit better of a woodworker than maybe you really are. Like me. I got the idea from these. I can get these for half the price. They only come in 2-foot sections, but when you come down to buy the foot for them, tongue and groove, they're half the price. Everything that I build here to sell is built out of these, because I get more profit out of it. Why do I not use these in the videos? Well, I think it's because you can't get these, and I don't want to show you something that you can't get. I really love it when some guy says, oh, I found this piece of wood in the shed behind the garage that you're not going to have any of, and I'm going to show you how I built something out of it. Is that really very helpful? No, I'm buying everything from the Home Depot, because everybody has access to either that store or something very similar to that store. So these guys, as far as these videos, bye-bye. And now they're ruined because cedar's super soft, but that's okay. And just to be clear, I'm not taking any shots at anybody. I appreciate everything that they do. This is what I want to focus on. So anybody out there that wants to get offended by me thinking that I'm attacking them, I'm not. I'm just giving an overall generalization of how I want to see things. It really upsets me, and it's been a lot of different people that have done it that have pulled out some random piece of wood. Okay, so we're going to have upcoming very shortly, we're going to have memberships to our channel. We're not exactly sure what's going to be on them. Certainly there's going to be some exclusive projects, some advanced releases, and a lot more inside stuff. So our videos have been pretty highly edited by my son Jonathan, who's holding the camera at me right now, which he's done a great job with. I'm sure you all agree. Everybody seems to like it. But if you want to see a little more raw footage, we're not so edited down, and more inside baseball and seeing just how much of a disaster it is off screen, then, You got that to look forward to. And you're going to see the whole renovation of the garage happen too. Okay, so in the trellis video, a lot of people reacted to my rant that I went into because I knew that people were going to be making comments about the thumbnail being, oh, you can't build that for $5. You have to go see it if you haven't seen it. It was kind of a planned, spontaneous thing. I've been kind of mulling it over, and everybody seemed to think that I was upset, which I wasn't upset at all. I was just, at my job, I get animated sometimes when I'm dealing with customers because I'm at their cottage and we have a good time, and they think that I'm really funny when I get worked up like that. So I thought, well, let's try it out. And then he left it in, and me and my wife watched it and thought it was hysterical. So we said, just release it, and we'll see just what kind of reaction we got. And it was fantastic. I mean, really thankful to everybody that thought that I was upset, was telling me to, like, walk it off, basically. Just so you know, I wasn't upset. I'm just, that's my personality. And you hadn't seen a lot of that before. So anyway, we all thought it was very funny. So what is my history? First of all, in case you didn't know, I think I said it in one video, my name is Greg. And I used to run an assembly company for 20 years. And that's where the efficiency expert in me came from, because it was all piecework and they kept cutting how much we were getting paid. So I keep having to up productivity to compensate for it. And it just makes you think everything that way now. So it actually has been pretty beneficial in that sense, which is why I kind of don't like the whole, oh, there's a video and it's 29 minutes on making some little simple thing. So everybody seems to appreciate that, and we're going to keep going down that road too, because I think it's working great. Everybody seems to be happy. We have endless amounts of projects we can work at. I was basically a contractor for the largest brick and mortar company in the world, starts with a W. Basically, that 20 years I was also an assembler, and I got a chance to custom build a lot of stuff. I basically had this is what we want, go out and create it. So that's kind of where my background comes from, but the whole woodworking, like to the extent we're doing it now, that only started really just over a year ago, and that's why I want to share all of this insight that I've gotten over the last year. I want to try to basically use that to save you guys a bunch of time and money if I can help it. Okay, so our goal here is to not do anything very advanced. If you want to do advanced stuff, there's people out there for you already. I mean, that's those guys with their fancy equipment and making all kinds of, high-end stuff, like out of hardwood. I can't get hardwood here for any kind of a reasonable price, so it's likely never going to end up in the shop. And I think that fits in a lot with what you guys want, because we want to keep the cost down, because I'll tell you, if you start building stuff out of hardwood, you're not making any money. So unless that's a passion of yours, which you're probably not watching a channel like this, a goofball like me doing this stuff. Anyway, that takes care of that, because I think that we're all on the same page. And when it comes to some of the bigger projects, basically anything that you ever see on the channel, if you have a little bit of woodworking skill, even if it looks hard, you can do it. A lot of them, if you go back and look at them, and we have a wishing well that's coming up, basically it's 3 to 4, let's call it 4 small projects to make one big thing. It's all about breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. If you go back and look at the planter bench, it looks pretty substantial to somebody that's kind of new to woodworking. All it is 2 planters with a bench put in between it. It's basically 3 projects, 3 small projects that become one big one. You don't need to be intimidated by that. And the other thing too, we're going to address this in getting the sales. When it comes to building a portfolio and trying to get sales, if you know you can build something and you can get a picture of it, put the picture up for sale and see if anybody bites, because you know you can build it. If you're going to do what I did, which, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done it as much, except that was my education. Building stuff at my house, in my garage, was my education. So I have like 20 things out in my yard right now. We're at the beginning of the season. They'll all sell throughout the season, but that's a lot of money to put out in lumber. So I would recommend that you think about, doing what I've done for some of the stuff and just saying, hey, I can build this. Is anybody interested? This is going to be the price. And if somebody orders it, then build it. Get a deposit first, of course. And if nobody orders it, pick something else. All right. And also with all of this other stuff, we're going to try to have some fun videos. I am going to pit these 2 guys against each other. You've seen me, if you've watched the videos, me use Titebond 3, which of course everybody knows about that, MPL Premium. So I'm going to glue some stuff up in a similar way and see when I rip them apart just how much damage gets done. I know this one's stronger, but we'll see how it performs. This is much thicker than this one is. Anyway, just a fun project to play with. They don't all have to be serious. Okay, so if you want to see all of this stuff coming up and you haven't subscribed already, then please subscribe, like, share, comment, ring the notification bell. You got a whole bunch of education coming your way if you want it. And if you want to watch me rant, the trellis video is right there.